All right, so we have the Arduino here and it's connected, and we double check, make sure. There's our Nano and old bootloader, COM10. Now this is just the basic code that you can get, simple as you can get. It'll still compile. And so you're probably wondering, well, what's it compiling? There's nothing here. Well, Arduino hides a lot of stuff in the background and all the code in order to run the thing, and all of that is hidden from you when you use the Arduino IDE. And there's two main functions, and the first one's called setup. This runs once. It says put your setup code here to run once, and then the loop, put your main code here to run repeatedly. So this will run and run and run in circles. It'll start here and run to the bottom and come back up to loop and run forever. Now this loop is called by the quote-unquote operating system of the Arduino. And when you first turn the thing on, it'll run the setup and your setup code, and then it'll just go from there, drop into the loop, and then run this continuously. And that's the way you write a program. You do your setup, set up your variables, initialize stuff, connect your serial port for printing back to the computer, whatever. All that is done there. And then your loop is your main workhorse program. But before we do any of that stuff, let's look at some of the menu stuff. Keep saying stuff. So there's a lot of built-in examples, if I can get there. And the basics, one of them is called blink. Now you see the way it opens up another one? That is a quote-unquote feature of the Arduino IDE, that your name of your sketch needs to be in a directory called blink, and the INO needs to be called blink. So that's how you run some of the examples. Just pick any one of these examples, whether it's strings, sensors, control, communication, all that sort of stuff. And then you have the basic close, save as, and now preferences. If your eyes are not so good, you can increase the font size. We might change that to 16. And always display the line numbers. This guy here, display line numbers. That's these numbers here along the side. Always really handy, because when it comes up with an error, it'll tell you the line number. And one thing that we're going to turn on for now is compilation using verbose. Verbose means diarrhea of the mouth, like lots and lots and lots of words, that sort of thing. That can come in handy if there's an error, but you just really don't know why it is there, or it's just not working right. So we go OK and move this up. This is your status panel down here. Now if we see all the information zipping by, all of this AVR code and all the stuff in behind that setup and loop, that all gets compiled. And here it says all the different tools and libraries and everything it's using, the AVR, the GCC is the compiler. And then it just finally says the sketch uses 930 bytes, 3% of program storage. And that's what you normally see if you turn off the verbose preferences. So we'll turn that off again. Again, handy if you want to have lots of information, but not right now. And edit, this is your usual edit functions, cut, copy, paste, find, that sort of thing. Your sketch, you can show the sketch folder, include a library in your code, things like that. The tools, we looked at this one earlier. And that's where your board is. You set your COM port. All that sort of stuff gets done there. Okay, so this is the hello world of the Arduino code. It is what you should run first time you ever try to get it to use. You can see it's working right now. But basically, all it does is here in the setup, it says pin mode, LED built in. And now this is just pin number 13, which is a digital pin. D13, and we want to set that as an output, meaning we want to output a signal as opposed to using an input. And so that's the only part of our setup. This is LED built-in, is a built-in define for pin 13. And so every time we use LED built in, that's the same as writing 13. Now we go down to the loop, and remember this goes round and round and round and round. So a digital write, meaning we want to write out to this pin, the LED built in, which is pin 13, we want to set it high. We can make this a little bigger. So we turn the LED on by putting voltage to the LED. Then delay 1000 milliseconds. Wait for a second. Digital write. Now we'd say turn off the LED. We want a low. We want a 0. We put on pin 13, or LED built in as the reference calls it. We want to turn it off. Then we go delay 1000. We wait another 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. We get down to the closing bracket, jumps back up, and keeps doing it. Round and round and round it goes. So there you can see. If we upload this now, see my flash flash? See, now it's really bright. That's when it uploaded the code. So if you do this a few times, you kind of see a pattern. Flash flash, receive, bright, uploading. And now it's running the program. So as soon as it uploads, program counter starts at 0, and it runs the program. Pretty simple. So that's how a blink sketch works. Now, of course, we're going to make more and more complicated programs. We're going to be controlling relays and that sort of thing. But this is a first good step. If you can get all of this working and begin to understand what's going on here, then that's really important. So, okay, that's it for this video.